Hey everybody, welcome back to another Thursday live stream. Thanks once again for joining us here today. Appreciate it. Excited to go over a few new things with you guys today and build some products and answer any questions that you guys might have. So I see we already got some people tuning in here. Kimian from California. We got Hillary in BC. Got Go to Gate 26. Good morning from New Zealand. She's able to join until you guys in the north go backwards again. Yeah, that whole daylight savings time thing sometimes, right? I'm assuming that's what you're referring to. I've got Bridget in Long Island. Hello, Eva. Hi, Kip in Las Vegas. Minnesota, awesome. Thanks for joining, Kristen. Haley's calling from Pittsburgh. Very cool. Got people calling in from all over the place. That's great to see. Thanks again for taking some time to join us. So today we're going to kind of continue on building some more products. I've got kind of a trending product that I found that I think will be a good one to take a look at. Kind of covers several different features in Anywhere POD, which I like. It's going to involve some clip art. It's going to involve combining some variants, which I really want to spend a little bit of time on because we get quite a few questions on what's possible with that. And since it is so powerful and there's so much you can do with it, sometimes it's hard to completely wrap your mind around exactly how powerful it can be in your store. So we'll get started on that in just a minute. A couple real quick housekeeping things I wanted to bring up. Number one, if you guys didn't catch our live stream last week, make sure to go check that out. We had Martin on from Printify. He dropped some really great insights into Q4 and kind of how you should be positioning yourselves right now, and some good tips there along with that. It's always great being able to have Martin on. He brings a lot of energy, and it's great to be able to have him on. Also, this week got wrapped up today. We haven't even made a post on it yet, but all of Custom Cat's newest products are now available in Anywhere POD. Everything should be available in there except for their hat patches. We don't quite have those available yet. They work a little bit different way and required a little bit more work to get those in. All of their other products are available though. So if you guys haven't been following what they're doing over at Custom Cat, they have really expanded their product catalog in the last several months. Several different branded items from companies like Under Armour they now offer in there, and have really expanded their catalog into a lot of different things. So I would recommend checking that out. There is one more, I take that back, besides the hat patches, there is one more that we had live that we had to just pull down a minute ago because I found an issue with it. And that is some new wall art options that they have. That's a really cool, they call them photo tiles. It's a really cool product. So excited to get those in there. Look out for a post on those in Anywhere POD. Or in the meantime, if you want to check it out in their catalog, we should have them available for you in Anywhere POD very soon. So excited to get those in there as well. Okay, so I think that's kind of all the housekeeping stuff that I had, and we'll kind of jump into building some products here because I want to spend as much time as I can going that through for you guys. And then, like I always say, we will have opportunity for a Q&A at the end. Make sure any questions you have regarding what we're building today, feel free to jot those down. We're happy to answer those, but anything to do with Etsy or Anywhere POD or e-commerce or Shopify or any of the like, we're happy to answer any questions that we can during that Q&A portion. No, they are not. Sabrina asks, are the photo tiles ceramic? They are not ceramic photo tiles. They're like a pre-framed, it's not canvas. I think it's made out of like a poster. And then they've got like a repositionable sticky on the back. I think it's supposed to be like a, they say Scandinavian style or something like that. We'll have a post on that in our Facebook group soon, so you can learn some more on that. Hopefully later today, but we should definitely have that sorted out by tomorrow. Okay, so let me share my screen here and we'll jump into it. Let's Let's see, share screen. So you guys may have seen a little bit of the teaser that we had on our post in the Facebook group earlier on what we're going to be working on. It's not this exact design. We are not copying this design. It's a different version of clip art, but it's kind of the same idea where it's initials. I know I've seen similar designs like this lately on Christmas ornaments, so it works good there as well, and would be a very similar process to build these on ornaments. In this case, we're going to be doing sweatshirts. So you're going to have the kind of letter in the middle. Then they're going to have their name on the bottom, and they're going to be able to select um, from a few different sizes, right? So you can do a sweatshirt, you can do the hoodie, and then same thing in youth sizes. So that this is kind of marketing towards family. So a good option for multi-piece orders as well, because you'll often get one for the parents and then however many kids they have. So depending on the size of the household, you're looking at three, well, probably at least 2 to 6 on most orders. So it's a really nice multi-piece item, which is one of the reasons that I really liked it. So we'll be showing one example of this with the letter in the middle, but feel free to get creative with how you do kind of that initial letter, and look for things that are Christmas themed, but maybe outside of the niche of what other people are doing. So we've got something here with antlers. I think there's a lot of different routes that you could go with that, pulling in some themes and niches from other popular Christmas designs and pulling it in and kind of redesigning that letter to something that's going to work really well. So that's kind of an overview of what we're going for. Like I said, we're looking at multiple sizes. We're going to have then a few different colors, and then we'll also obviously have the personalization options here. So that's kind of the idea of what we're working on. So to get started, I'm going to jump over here to Anywhere POD. Now I have downloaded my clip art that I'm going to use. The one I'm using in particular is one that I found on Creative Fabrica. I'm not saying to go use the same one, like I mentioned a moment ago. Getting something that's going to be a little bit more unique is going to always help out. So wanted to kind of focus more on the process of getting that created today. So we'll kind of go through how I would create this for um, for Etsy and for Shopify, because your process on this particular product is going to be, I think, identical between the two. You could do something a little bit different with Shopify, but I think it's going to make sense to have them both the same in this case. Sometimes there's advantages to doing things a little bit different. Um, so we'll kind of talk through some of those as we go as well. So uh, to get the letter selection, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. Like I said, we're going to be listing it as clip art. That's going to make our product creation process a lot faster. The other option we had would have been to add the letter as a variant option. So as the customer is purchasing, let me just jump back over to Etsy here and explain this a little bit more. So as the customer's purchasing, right now we have size and colors are two options. If we only wanted it to offer this in one color, we would have the option of being able to add the letters as a variant option. So right here, instead of selecting color, they would be selecting A through Z, which makes it nice because it's a completely automated on the ordering side of it. It's a bit more work up front for you because you need to add variant for each one and add them there. In this case, it didn't make sense to do that because we want to have different sizes and different colors. So to be able to add the letters to the variant selection, it would get to be a lot. So you would essentially have to have an A option for every black or for every color. So you'd have A black, A white, B black, B white, etc. And that just didn't make as much sense with this particular product. Some products that don't have the color option, it makes sense to do it that way on Etsy. But in this case, we're going to use clip art, which means it's going to take us about maybe 5 more seconds on an order to be able to process that order, because we're also going to make sure that the correct clip art selection is also made besides adding the name. So that's kind of how we decided to do this product and what we're going to walk through here. Okay, so let's jump back over to Anywhere POD here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my clipart section here and go to clipart. I don't have this clipart loaded in yet, so I'm going to go ahead and go to Add New Clipart. And I'm just going to name this. This is just more for internal use, so I'm going to call this Christmas Letters. And choose file. This brings up my kind of file explorer window. I have all these in one folder, so I'm just gonna select all of them, select all of those, and click on open. And as you can see, that's gonna go through and upload all of those. And it looks like these are fairly decent size because it's taken a minute to upload all of them. So we're gonna give that a second here to go ahead and complete. These are probably just judging by how long it took. I didn't look into what size they were specifically, but kind of judging by how long they're taking to load, they're probably a lot larger than what I needed. So to get things loading a little bit faster, um, you can always resize those down a little bit. Let me just see while those are going what these are in at. Yeah, they're a bit large. I must be in a spot without my best internet. Yeah, I'm on my slower internet connection. That explains it as well. So these are 4,096 square, it looks like. So not too terrible. But that is the reason why they're taking a little bit to load here. Um, while those are loading, I see a question here with Anywhere POD. Do we need a subscription for Shopify and Etsy? So two. Yes. So they are two separate subscriptions. You can use the same account and you can use um, the same products. So you don't have to rebuild your products to list on both platforms. So if I'm building products for Etsy and I want to be able to publish those to Etsy as well or to Shopify as well, I don't have to rebuild them. I don't have to copy them over or anything like that. It's really just a click of a button to be able to transfer those over to whichever platform that I want to sell on. Cool. Okay. Looks like we got our last couple here. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to. I forgot to check my. I was on the right, so I have the as like most people probably do now, where you have the 5 gigahertz band or the 2 gigahertz band on your home Wi-Fi. Usually, I'm connected to the faster 5G one, which is pretty fast even where I'm sitting now. But somehow I got connected to the other one. So sorry for the delay there. Perfect. Okay, those all look good and are loaded. So now if I click on save here, we can get those loaded in and I can see I have those started to come in here under Christmas letters here. It is going to resize those for me and give me more of a thumbnail version to show on, like if I'm doing a Shopify preview. So if the customer is on a slower internet connection like this, it's still going to load quickly for them. So we do resize and optimize those too, so that process is smooth for the customer. Okay, so now that we have our Christmas letters there, we can go ahead and build our product. So we're going to get started here and come into our sweatshirts first. Since we're just doing a front print here, it doesn't matter so much what supplier we use for our products. If there's a particular supplier that you're used to using, you can use them. I know on the Printify side, kind of Swift POD and Monster are very popular to use. So is using Printify Choice now. That's a big thing that they're promoting. But you know, if Custom Cat and T-Launch, all of them, Shine On, all now have sweatshirts that are very good quality. So pick the supplier that you're used to going with. Since it's just the front, we don't need to go to a specific supplier here. So we have those now. So we're going to come here to view supplier here, and we're just going to go ahead and select Swift POD. The one thing I would look at if you're doing multiple different products, like we're going to do a sweatshirt and a hoodie and then we're also doing everything on the youth sizes. Try to select a supplier that has the same colors between the three suppliers. I didn't double check between the three products I'm doing here what colors match, but I would try to do the same colors. That's going to make the color selection a lot simpler in Etsy. It's not a huge deal if it's different because you're going to have them select the size first, which is going to include the product type. So not a huge deal either way, but it's going to be preferable if they all kind of match and gives you a smaller list of colors that way. Okay, so we're going to come here to Swift POD and we'll go to Start Designing. Now here we're not actually going to upload any artwork here at all because we want to add this from the clipart library that we just set up. So we're just going to click close on that. I'm going to select a few colors here. So we'll say sand, sport gray. What do you think? Maybe we'll do a light pink. I think that's probably available on the other ones too. We'll see here. And then we'll go here to clipart options. And we'll just load in the Christmas letters here that we had loaded previously. And it's just a matter of resizing this now onto the product where we want it and get it centered up here. And then we're going to go and add our text field here. Now here we're going to put in our placeholder name. If we are on Etsy, we want to make sure that we're using an actual person's name here. Etsy does not allow you to use the, enter custom name here type of thing anymore. They want the actual, an actual example of the product. So I could do something here, say Emily. And we're going to resize this so we're going not quite to the edge of our artwork so that if they have a longer name, it's still going to fill in correctly. So we're going to do that and kind of make sure that we're centered here under the design as well. And then we can change our font here. Let's find a good script font here. Maybe something a little bit more bold like this dancing script if we make that a little bigger. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We want to make sure that is marked as personalized because that's what's going to tell us the text the customer enters where we want it placed. So all we're going to need to do for the customer, we just want to ask them for the name, and then we're going to select the letter based off of that. So we want those to match in our example here as well. We're going to come to our Christmas letters, and we're just going to select our E here from that drop down as well so that that loads and matches correctly here as well. So now that we have both of those set, we should be good there to go to create product. Let's see, while those mockups are loading, do we have a couple questions? For the drop down for category, pre-selected categories might drop. No, so the categories that you're referring to, I think this is back to the clip art. That's so you can add your own kind of subcategories to clip art if you choose to. It's not required though. So you can add those. I think it was 3 or 4 live streams ago. We did a live stream with a blanket with some chibi art. If you want to learn more about categories, we talked about it during that demo there as well. What precisely why it's helpful to be able to see the colors on the screen with a hover. Yeah, so I don't know if you saw Kip, I changed that A to an E so that it matched. Could have used a name with an A and not had to change that, but that's there for you as well. Okay, yeah, go to Gate if you want to maybe ask that question on the journals at the end. We can cover that there so we can kind of get through this product. Okay, so now we have our mockups and everything selected. What we want to do is we're going to change our size here so that in front of the size, we have our product type listed. So if we take a look at our example here, you can see they did the exact same thing. They've got sweatshirt, and then it looks like they kind of use 2 dashes to separate it. You can use dashes or slashes, whatever you want to do there. So to do that, we're going to update all of our size names in bulk. So we're just going to come in here to update variant names, and we want to update all of the variants. So it doesn't matter if I select anything here. For size, we're going to say add to front, and then we're going to say sweatshirt here. And then if we wanted it separated just with 2 dashes, we can put the dashes in there if we want to. So that's going to add that to the front of all of our sizes. If we select update, you can see now all of our sizes are going to have sweatshirt and everything listed there. Now, one thing to keep in mind if you are selling on Shopify, Shopify currently limits you to 100 total variants. That should be changing at the beginning of the year, but right now it's at 100. So with the 3 colors that I selected and offering all sizes, I'm at 22 for each product that I add. So I should be good here because I can get up to 100 and I'm just adding 4 products. That should get me somewhere around 88. If I added more colors though, that would get me over the limit. So that's something to think about as you're working on adding these is that total variant limit if you're selling on Shopify. Okay, so now that we have that added for the sweatshirt, we're now going to use our add variants functionality to add in our hoodie design. So to do that, we're going to come in here and go to add variants. Now we can select the same product or a different product. A lot of times you'll select the same product if you're wanting to offer artwork variations. In this case, we want the artwork to stay the same, but we're changing the product. So to do that, now that we've selected add variants, we can browse the entire catalog and be able to add any other product to this that we want to. So in this case, we're going to go for a hoodie. So I'm just going to come over here to the hoodies. You can see here at the top, it still says that I'm selecting for additional variants, which is perfect. We're going to go with the Gildan again, and we're going to come into view suppliers, and we're going to go down to Swift POD and start designing. Now here, our design size is a little bit different, right? So the front of your hoodies don't have quite as much space as the front of your sweatshirts, but we can still use our add from library functionality. So we're going to say add from library because everything's already configured with this and we don't want to have to configure it again. So we can select that same last product that we just did. It's going to load that on here, and then we're going to be able to move this around and kind of rearrange things a little bit. So I'm going to highlight both of these. I just clicked off the image and clicked and dragged to highlight both of these. And now I can rearrange this so it's centered there and come up there. I'm not too worried about this being close to the bottom because that's just getting closer to my pocket. So whereas on the sweatshirt, I didn't have it fill out the entire space because it would look kind of big on the sweatshirt and I wanted to have room for the name at the bottom. In this case, I kind of want that E to be as large as I can because the print area is so much smaller on a hoodie than it is on a sweatshirt. So let's see. I remember I did, should have written that down. It was light pink. Let me just make sure I'm selecting the same colors here. Now look at this in a new tab. I had light pink, sand, and sport gray. So there's sand and sport gray. Perfect. I had all the same colors. Got lucky on that one. Okay, so we have colors selected. Products already loaded and configured, so we don't really need to do anything different with this. We can just go to update product. And now if we come down here, we'll see that we've got a second one here for our hoodie. Of course, that artwork's a little bit smaller because, like I said, you don't have the same height. And we can see here we got our additional variant options added. So now what we need to do is update our hoodie variants so it has hoodie in front instead of sweatshirt. So to do that, we're going to go to update variants. We're going to select our product here at the top for our hooded sweatshirt. And again, here on the size, we're going to leave that add to front. And we're going to say hoodie and update. And now that automatically updated all of our variant options for us. So if we scroll down here, we'll see we've got all of our sweatshirts here, and then we've got all of our hoodies in the correct sizes and colors already set up and good to go. So now we really just need to repeat that process for our youth sizes. So we're going to go through basically the exact same thing. So we're going to go add variants here under the catalog. We're going to go kids clothing this time, and we're going to go to sweatshirts. And let's see, let's go with just Printify here for a second. So I'm matching. Do they have a Gildan? Perfect. Here's Gildan hooded youth crew neck. There it is. I thought they had it. And is it from? And it's from Swift. They may not have the exact same color selection. We'll see here in a second. Again, here we're going to go add from library, select our last design. Perfect. This gives me pretty close exactly what I want. I think I'm going to leave that as it is. So they don't have light pink and they've got sport gray. So it is you can have different colors listed in Etsy. Like I said, I would probably try to come to my youth sizes and select the same ones there if I can. But honestly, if you have some that are available in adult that aren't available in the youth, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I would try to select some that are the same. So the ones that you can have be the same, have them be the same. My wife is one that would want everybody to be in a matching color. So my wife would be buying ones that are all the same color. Some people would prefer, hey, let's put the moms and daughters in pink and the dads in blue. So again, it's kind of personal preference there. So I'm just going to add our sport gray and our white in this case. And we'll go to update product. And now if I come down here, we're going to have a kid's sweatshirt option here. So I can just go to youth crew neck. And again, we're going to update size and I'm going to say youth sweatshirt with my dashes. And we'll go update. And now here we'll see we've got youth sweatshirt with all of our sizes and then every other one listed here. So it should be all set for us there and all set up and good to go. We've got our other option here on the left for the crew neck. So basically I would do the exact same thing, but now for the youth hoodie. And then this listing is going to be all set and good to go. Like I said, when an order comes in for this, we're going to put in the personalization instructions on Etsy for them just to enter their name. So in this case, it would be Emily. When that order comes in, it's going to go on hold so that we're able to take a look at it. The name Emily is already going to be there listed on the order for us. And then we're just going to make sure that the E is selected from our clipart options. So that's all we're going to have to do is select E, hit save, and hit process. So like I said, take about 5 seconds longer for an order, but it's still a very quick and smooth process. If you're selling on Shopify, you won't need to do that because you'll be able to have the customer select what letter they want as well. So, on Shopify, if they're wanting to do like have the letter be their last name and then their name below, or vice versa, it gives them a little bit more freedom and flexibility to do that. Most people won't. Most people will want it to match. So that's going to be the easiest way to do it. So I think that kind of covers our example on that today. I can go through and add the hoodie if you want, but I think you've seen me do it twice now, so may not necessarily need to see that again. But if somebody wants to, I'm happy to show that. Also happy to answer any questions that you guys have, whether it's about this product or anything else. Feel free to drop those in the comments, and I'm happy to answer those questions and help out any way that we can. Um, So while we're waiting for questions, I know GoToGate here had one previously on aligning elements. If you're doing something like a wraparound journal cover, this would even be the case for like a lot of pillows, wraparound mugs. If you're not using the auto duplicate feature, so the best option for that is going to be to bring in your design already completed on the product template. Um, or the other option is you'll also get guidelines. So you saw here we had center guidelines. We had center guidelines, but we also have guidelines amongst each element as well. So you can see that a little bit better if I take this here and I'll kind of pull it off center here. If I take this, you can see we're snapping to our center. But if I bring it over here, you can see that green line I'm snapping to. That's also centering it to the actual object there as well. And then you'll get one on the edge too to show that you're lined up on the edges. So that's how I would match up and align elements that are kind of one-on-one next to each other. Um, or personalize order through Anywhere POD, we still need to manually update each personalization correct. Is there a way then to copy the entire variant so that the original is not affected? Yeah, so you don't have to copy all of the personalization. So let's see if I've got an order here that is on hold. Give me a second here and let me find one that I can show you. Let's see. Let me go back older here. On hold. Well, I thought I had one handy here, but I'm having trouble finding one that is correct here. Yeah, here's one. This should work. Let's go over here. So when an order is on hold, you will see listed here the personalization that the customer entered. In this case, with the text personalization, it automatically added it to the first personalization field and generated the artwork for us all automatically. If we had this set to autofulfill, I wouldn't have even had a look at it because we saw it just had one word, one text field, off to the races, good to go. If I want to leave this set to not autofulfill, I can double check it like I just did, be able to release the hold. If I need to make any changes to this, I can. If I click edit personalization, again, it's going to list the personalization up here that the customer entered. And then it's going to give me a text box here where I can make changes to the personalization if I need to. In the case of the clip art that we just did, I'm also going to get a drop down for the clip art here. So all I would need to do in that case is go edit personalization, select E from the clip art, click on update item. It's going to generate the artwork for me, and then all I have to do is release the hold. So you don't have to like retype or reconfigure things. I also have several other options here if I ever need to, where I can upload new artwork. Maybe I'm doing something more complicated. I've already got it designed in Canva. I'm just going to create it in Canva, download the PNG. You can upload that new artwork here as PNG. I can also click here and go into the full artwork editor, but it's only editing for this one particular product. So if I need to add in other elements or make more complicated changes than just changing the personalization options, I can do that here, and it's only affecting the artwork for that one specific order. And then finally, I can go select from library. So if this artwork's wrong, you've rebuilt it, you've got something else in your artwork library that you need to use on this order, you're able to do that. So you really have a lot of flexibility when it comes to orders on what you can change when it comes to the order being on hold. The edit personalization, 9 times out of 10, if it's just text, you're going to be able to release hold. If it's something like text and clip art, you can select that new clip art, and then you're off to the races from there as well. Hopefully that helps answer those questions. If you have any other questions on that, or if you have a specific order that you ever run into that you have a question on, or anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to our customer support. You can see down here in the bottom right, we have a contact us link. We're always happy to help, and more than happy to help answer any questions or get things moving. We'd rather take the couple minutes to answer your question or create a quick video for you than you to have to spend your time trying to figure it out, especially if you're having issues figuring out. Of course, we want you to try to begin with because most of the time it's pretty simple. But sometimes if you don't know what you don't know, so we're there to help support you if you ever need it as well. Um, when creating a bulk listing, can we choose the different mockups and video for each one of the listing? The bulk tool is a bit intimidating. So when you say bulk listing, so what we just created, I would call that a group listing. I'm not sure if that is what you're referring to or not, but you can select any of the mockups that are available from Printify will automatically load in here, and you can select any of those that you want on that listing. And then same thing when you go to do the video, you can select any of the mockups that you want on the video. For the bulk uploader, which we have a video going into more detail on this tool. But if you have multiple products that you want to create at once, whether it's 1 or 20, you can upload that artwork here. It's going to automatically create. If I upload 20 files, it's going to create 20 products for me. It's going to replace the first non-personalized image on each artwork that's in that product. So doesn't work 100% of the time, depending on if you're doing something a little bit more complicated. You may need to create that kind of the old fashioned way or make edits after. So once you create your product, you're free to go into that product, make additional changes to the artwork, additional changes to the mockup. Nothing's like set in stone that you can't go back and edit either. Um, would be great to have ruler guides like on Canva. I'm not sure if I've used the ruler guides in Canva before, or if I'm, or if you're talking about something other than what I'm thinking of. But if you want to send a screenshot of what you're talking about into support, we'd be happy to take a look at that and add that to the list of potential feature enhancements for sure. Sabrina said, ABPOD customer service is outstanding. Thank you. I appreciate that. We do work very hard at providing the best service that we can. When I select mockups for a particular product, the mockups that I added to the mockup template section are not showing as options. So when you add a mockup to the mockup template section, it's not going to automatically add them here under select mockups because you could have multiple different products that you're adding mockup templates for. So to get those generated, you need to go here to my mockups. I have a bunch of random stuff in here, but here you would then select the ones that you want to generate from your templates and click on generate mockups. That's then going to apply your artwork to those, and then they'll be available here inside of your select mockups. Alrighty. You can run on ruler guides to help with alignment with designing in Canva. I love them. I will definitely take a look at those closer and see if it's something that we can add to Anywhere POD for sure. If it helps make your life easier, we're certainly all about that. So, alrighty. What other questions do you guys have? Let me know. Any other questions? If not, we'll call this a last call for questions. Like I said, be on the lookout for a post on some of those new products from Custom Cat. We got a few minutes. I might just go poke around the Custom Cat catalog a little bit here, show you guys some of the new stuff that they have added. So I know some of these are newer to Custom Cat, and some of them are just newer to Anywhere POD. We kind of had a scenario where our product catalog was out of sync with theirs, some of their new products for a bit. So with this update, we also have things set up so we can stay up to date with any new products that they add going forward as well. So as they're expanding their catalog, we're gonna pretty much stay in sync with everything that they have going forward now. So let's see. I know one of the things was they added some new blanket options. So these here at the top, I think were all available previously. And then I have a few of these now down here that are new ones. So we've got some picnic blanket options. Looks like a black Sherpa blanket. That's interesting. And then some twin velvet blankets here. That's cool to see. I know under apparel, let's see if I search for, yeah, Under Armour. So they have all of these Under Armour items now. Oh, that's cool. They have backpacks too. Those are neat. I should have noted earlier too. One thing with Custom Cat is they don't provide mockups to us automatically. So those are added separately by Anywhere POD directly. Actually, using the mockup templates is how we add those. A little secret sauce behind the scenes there. So we have to go through and add those for each product. So we don't have all mockups available automatically for all Custom Cat products yet. If there's a certain product you're working on that you're curious about, let us know. We'll be happy to add that mockup for you so that it's available there. But that's just something to keep in mind when you're building, especially some of these new products. So Under Armour, I remember there's a few other, I forget the other brands that they have. There's a few other branded items. So um, anyway, if you haven't checked out their product line yet, um, you got some new updates in there. Might be worth checking out there. Let's see. Sabrina's asking, any plan to give opportunity to copy the digital listings, like we can for physical products? Um, Potentially, but there's most. I guess really the main thing would really only be the title and description that would end up getting copied there, because with digital products, pretty much everything's changing on it, right? So you're gonna have different images and everything that you're uploading. So I don't know if there's as big of a benefit there. We also honestly don't have as many people using the digital product features in Anywhere POD. So we would kind of take a look at that and see. Any sign of a Printful integration anytime soon? I know if you haven't yet, I'm not 100% sure who this user is. If you haven't yet, make sure to check out our feature request board over here on the left and vote on that feature, so we can have a better idea, and so you're one of the first to know when that does get released. So we do plan to integrate them. I don't have specifics on that timeline yet. What is Custom Cat's best product? That's tough to say one that is best. I will say one thing that they do completely different than anyone else in the industry is going to be how they print apparel. So most places you see, most vendors that you see are using what's called DTG for printing on any of their apparel items, shirts, sweatshirts, any of the like. And essentially, what that is it's a big printer that's like it sounds, direct to garment. So it's directly printing right onto that shirt or sweatshirt or whatever the case may be. That process sometimes can have issues with it, I guess I would say. So if you've ever seen notes of a design looking cracked, or there kind of being an outline or a shadow around the design, especially on dark colors, there's a pre-treat that has to be applied before the inks. So that's the general printing process. Some people will use like a UV print process, or direct to film. You may have heard that in some cases. What Custom Cat does is kind of different and unique to them. I think it's their own proprietary printing technology. Actually, they call it Digisoft. They kind of compare it between a combination of direct to garment and direct to film. And from all the reviews and everything, it produces a much more brighter, vibrant print that is more durable and lasts longer. That's at least what they claim. I haven't done any specific wash tests, so I'm not saying for sure that's what it does. I did have the opportunity, kind of by chance, actually, when I was visiting some family. They had received a gift from another family member that came in the mail that day, and it came from Michigan, and I could tell it was obviously print on demand. I was like, hey, I think I know who that is. So I took a look at the package and could tell just by my knowledge. Most people wouldn't have known, but by the tags and everything they use, I knew that it was custom cat. So I did get a chance to look at one a little bit more up close. That was kind of out in the wild, I guess you might say. It was just a white print on a black hoodie. Anyone that's been in the industry for a while knows that white on black can be a difficult thing to achieve well. This was done well. The stretch was good on it. I was pretty surprised, knowing and being around this industry for a while. It looked really, really nice. Now they just pulled it out of the package. It hadn't been washed or anything like that, so can't really speak to that or anything. But I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw there. So it was pretty neat. Let's see. Can you give a quick run through of how to create a digital product? Yeah, so under here, over here under my digital downloads here, this is going to be your digital products. And really, the features here shine the most if you're using products that are geared towards somebody selling like designs for cricket machines. So if they're selling SVGs, so just real quick, some of the functionality you get here is obviously being able to do your title and description and your tags. You get access to the mockup templates. So if you're doing digital downloads that you want to be able to show on a mockup, you can easily add those here. We also have a PNG to SVG converter. So if you're wanting to offer SVGs, most cricket machines are wanting SVGs. So that's what that is there for that uh, PNG to SVG conversion. And then we'll also take care of zipping your files. So I think it's 5 digital downloads that can be added directly to Etsy. And over that, you have to do something different. So we will, if you add more than 5 digital files here, we will automatically zip those for you when that product and that listing gets created over on Etsy. So you can manage that process a little bit more. So some really good value if you're doing those types of products. If you're doing something more like a digital planner or selling PDFs of digital planners or something like that, it's not quite as useful. So it just kind of depends on the type of digital downloads that it is that you offer. All right, let's see here. Not a fan of DTF despite the hype around it. Digisoft sounds interesting. Yeah, if you do much apparel at all, I would say it's at least worth ordering a sample of a Digisoft product. One of the things that's really nice to do this time of year, and this is a good tip for anybody. If you have any products that would make good Christmas gifts to family members, order them now, right? And then you get them in, you get to look at them, check the quality, take images for your shop, do all that sort of stuff. And then come Christmas time, you're able to gift those to family members. So you get kind of that dual use purpose out of it. So if you're doing much apparel, I would recommend getting a Digisoft. Maybe you can get it in a design or something that you want to wear or give to somebody else. They have quite a bit. If you're into kind of the more nerdy side of print on demand, they have quite a bit of information, and there's some other videos on YouTube of people doing more in-depth hands-on reviews of Digisoft. And from those reviews, I was pretty impressed with those too. So might be worth ordering a sample just to see. Does Custom Cat have comfort colors? Do they use DTG? So it's not a direct DTG. It's Digisoft, which is separate from what I was separate from DTG. I think they have comfort colors now. Let's check here. Hmm, maybe not. I thought they had comfort colors. Let me make sure that didn't just get missed on men's short sleeve t-shirt. I wonder if they don't call them. They don't call it comfort color. I think this is comfort colors. Is it? You guys tell me. Let me search for it here. I think that is because it's CC 1717. I'm almost sure that is the um model number for the kind of popular comfort color shirt. So there's comfort colors and the colors they have there. This is here. They have a link right here to Digisoft if you're interested in reading more about that as well. Um, Off topic, as someone just using Etsy, can I apply to MWW on demand? It says they require tax ID, but since I only sell on Etsy, I don't have one. Is there still any way to work with them? Yes, you can. So if you they do require to have that on file themselves. It's unfortunately part of their company policy to do that. Um, Let me go here, create new account. I agree. It's a little bit frustrating because we know we don't have to do anything with tax. Their accountants and everything else have said that they have to have a number on file for their tax purposes just to show that they aren't selling to individuals. I will say though, to get an EIN number from the IRS is like unconsequential. You might as well get it. There's this, it doesn't really change anything with your business. Anybody can apply for it. If I remember right, it's even like automatically approved to you. So honestly, what I would do is just go to the link here, fill out the form, get the EIN, and just use that EIN to submit to them. You have that EIN if you ever want to use it in the future. In the meantime, it doesn't really change anything with your business. So it's not like now you have to start using that or operate differently. I would do that, get an EIN, and then if you're wanting to get an account directly with them to sell like their woven products directly, you are able to do that. Uh, can you recommend any Shopify apps that facilitate easy integration and product push to Amazon specifically for anywhere POD items? Um, I don't know if I would say I would personally recommend, but I do know several people that use said commerce. They have an Amazon integration that you can use for that. That will publish things to Amazon as well. I do know there's a fee associated with that. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I know there's that, and there's a few others. I know listing on Amazon can be a bit more involved because of Amazon's requirements get pretty extensive. You also will need to have an Amazon Pro seller account, which is $40 a month to have that API access. And that's regardless of who you use, you have to have that. So that's something else to keep in mind. I wish we could personalize the digital products with Anywhere POD, but with Etsy, it's probably not easy as they have the download with the purchase. Yes, they do. Really, to do it, you would have to have that as separate from the listing, and then they would have to get an email outside of Etsy, not associated with Etsy, with the artwork. So one thing you could do is load that artwork in your My Artwork section, and then when you get an order, punch in the personalization yourself and download it, and then send them an Etsy message with the link that gets created from Anywhere POD. Would be one potential way to do it. I thought I saw comfort colors on their shirt. Yeah, I think we found them there. So you can check those out if you're interested. Do any providers have comfort color t-shirts with front pocket? Yeah, I'm sure, pretty sure that Printify has a pocket tee, but I don't think it's comfort colors. Let's see. Let's just go with Printify here. Come on, let's go Printify and let's go t-shirts. We'll check on that here in a second. My internet connection. Hopefully, I'm still coming through. Here we go. Gildan Belly Canvas Comfort Colors Pocket T-shirt. Look at that. That might be what you're looking for. Yeah, they've got pocket, back, sleeves, neck, sleeves on the pocket tee. That is interesting. So it's not a front design, it's a pocket design, and then it is sleeves. I have not looked at this product yet, and now I'm intrigued on where the sleeves print, with it being a short sleeve, wasn't it? Let's test our middle of our pocket. So you don't get the full front print area, but you get a print area on the pocket, which is kind of cool. It's too bad they don't let you print like behind the pocket, so you could have something look like it's sticking up out of the pocket. Would be kind of neat. I'm curious what that is gonna look like. If my internet connection lets it go through, we'll check it in a minute. Is there a way to favorite some products? And I just missed it somewhere. So we don't have that yet. We do want to add favorites to Anywhere POD, and then also like a recently created section. So if you're just, most of the time you've got the same 5 or 10 products that you're recreating, you'd have an easy way to be able to get those here in the catalog. The other thing you can do to save time on product creation is to clone an existing product. So build it once, and then even if you don't want to use the bulk uploader, you can use the clone to be able to get it. Let's see if they show a good shot there of the sleeve. So there's our pocket. Looks like you just get the pocket there. Yeah, there's our sleeve. That's kind of cool. I kind of like the short sleeve print there. Um, could be some interesting ideas to do with that. So, answered a couple questions ago. Yes, they have comfort colors with pocket, but you don't get the full front print area. You just get the pocket. Or I think I saw you could print on the back, so you could put your designs on the back instead. It would be an interesting way to do that too. Um, As a great option is digital art saved automatically in the library, or do I need to upload a copy to artwork section? Yeah, you'd want to upload a copy to the artwork section. Actually, so this is going back to Sabrina's question about personalized digital listings. The way you'd want to do that, yeah, the way you'd want to do that is to have a PDF that is part of the instant download from Etsy that gives them the information about how they're going to receive their design. Because if they've ever bought on Etsy before, they're going to expect to be able to download it right away. Etsy is also going to require you to upload an image. So you're going to want that to be more of like an info doc on a PDF that will tell them, we're generating your personalized artwork. We'll send you an Etsy message with it, with your personalized art once it's ready, something along those lines. So that, and have it branded and everything, of course. That way they kind of know what to expect and aren't just like, oh, hey, what it said personalized and it's not personalized. Um, and I think actually now that I say that as well, uh, Etsy does not have a way to add a personalization box onto digital listings either. So your other option would be to run it as a physical listing. Be a little bit weird because it's gonna be a physical listing that then you're gonna email to them. So there's a couple things you need to look into there, or you could just have them send you an Etsy message after purchase with what their personalization options are. That would kind of be the other way to look at that. Um, do t-shirts using Printify integrate with Etsy with SKUs for each size and color? If so, I've done something wrong with my listing. Yeah, so um, let me go back to products here. That's not what I wanted. Let's do our example we were working on a little bit ago. So you'll see here under SKU, I'm going to have a SKU listed for each size and color. Let me see if I can just publish this to Etsy real quick and show you a couple things. So one of the things that Etsy requires when a new listing gets created is that even the options that you don't offer will get added here as a variant. So each one of these, if it's visible, it should have a SKU. If I scroll down here, show all, I should have some right here. So my youth size didn't have a light pink. I still have to create a youth size light pink, and it's just marked in here as disabled. Those will not have pricing. They won't have SKUs, any of that type of information. Etsy is also bad about wiping out these SKU fields. If I come in here to manage variations, let me see if I can remember what does it. Like if I come in here and say, you know what? I didn't want white, and I delete that from my listing. I think this will do it. Let's see. Apply. No, it didn't. So there's certain things that you do in here under this manage listing. Maybe it's when I add a new one. Let's say I'm like, hey, I want. Let's do that. Add a brown. Done. Or maybe they fixed this. Maybe they fixed this. So it used to be when you would make like any changes here under manage variations, it would end up wiping out your SKUs. It looks like they may have fixed that now. Well, nice. Yeah, it looks like they have fixed that now. So it's not quite as temperamental, but it's possible you still could have done something here that ended up wiping out your SKU that caused that issue. If that does happen and it gets wiped out, what you can do here, go to update Etsy listing and make sure this box is checked and click on update listing, and it will update all of the variants on your Etsy store to match what is in Anywhere POD. So you want to make sure your pricing and everything is correct, but it'll automatically update all of that on your Etsy listing for you. Okay, cool. We are just over an hour, so I'll let you guys get back to work. I know we're kind of getting into the heat of Q4. Another week or two, I think we'll see another big boost in sales after that first week in November. I think there, with the election and everything coming up, there's a lot of pent up demand and a lot of advertising that is taking up the airways and everybody's attention with the election coming up. After that, I think you're going to see a lot of pent up demand kind of released, and hopefully a big spike in sales after that. So be ready for that. Hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Again, as always, if you have any questions, reach out to our support. We're happy to help anytime, and hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye bye.